I know everybody probably wants me to talk about Izuku and the whole ordeal with Black Whip, but before I get into that, I gotta talk about something that many could have easily have missed in this chapter. Monoma and what he said to Ochiko is very, very important. From a writing standpoint, Horikoshi set up something very big. Like, very big. Probably the biggest thing in this chapter, and potentially the biggest thing that was set up in this arc, besides Izuku getting Black Whip, the reveal of, One for All and his true capabilities, and Shinzo being relevant, basically. Him getting back into the plot. Monoma said something that was kind of scary, and let's get into that. He says that when he swipes certain quirks, and he activates them, they can have lingering effects. They can last and have lingering effects. That's what he says. And he does say that it's better on, like, for instance, quirks that just affect things that are not the body. Like, the size quirk, increasing the size of, like, an object, stuff like that. If the quirk deactivates, it will still stay enlarged, even if he loses the quirk. But that's the point here. He does say that quirks can have lasting effects. And he didn't downright say that quirks that have effects on the body won't have lingering effects. I'm assuming negative effects like breaking your bones or something like what happens to Izuku could happen to him, basically. But the point is with that dialogue, like I said, Horikoshi opened up a major doorway for Monoma. The doorway is that it's possible with him swiping One for All that he effectively has started a new generation of One for All users. Hear me out. Let's think about the origin. The origin of One for All. How it even came about in the first place. Besides, obviously, All for One giving it to his brother, it came about thanks to a mutation. Stockpiling mutated into One for All. So, that's the thing here. Monoma, it has a very unique quirk. It has many quirks, and he had a lot of quirks already tied in him at that moment. And you gotta imagine him being able to swipe something like One for All that is very different, very unique. It seems like it's possible that his quirk could mutate. And that could be what Horikoshi was opening the door for, with lasting, lingering effects. Now, like I've already said in my last chapter review, I said even if Monoma did have One for All, my thought process, the reason why he wasn't as strong as Izuku, is because when he did swipe One for All, he started at the baseline level. He started off as the beginning of One for All, before it got any, other quirks attached to it, before it got its power-ups through generations. It was starting off at its lower level, so it had no strength. Monoma copied just the quirk, and the only reason why the quirk is so strong right now is because of just generations. So Monoma would have to build up the quirk to be able to use it effectively. And what I'm saying is that if Monoma somehow caused a mutation, then it would be very scary if One for All is sticking around, having lasting, lingering effects to where it has all these quirks Monoma grabs and swipes, links into One for All, and he's able to access all of them. He could technically be a stronger Izuku. Now, I don't know if Horikoshi will go down that path, but like I said, it opens the door up for Monoma getting a very big power-up, because with him saying effects last beyond the time, depending on what it is, One for All being snatched is definitely something very important. I have a feeling Horikoshi wouldn't do that if it wasn't going to be something important. That's my thought process. That's all I'm going to get at. But okay, let's talk about Black Whip and what Izuku did. I want to talk about the dialogue at the beginning of the chapter. Izuku downright stated that he has accepted this quirk. He has accepted it all. He's no longer afraid of it. He's willing to use it. What this means is Izuku has developed a lot as a character. Let's think about the overhaul arc and the whole big ordeal Izuku had to go through in that arc. He had, an issue to where he felt like he wasn't worthy for his quirk. And we even saw signs of this a couple chapters back when, Izuku started to act out, his quirk started to break and all that, and, he had an outburst, and Black Whip popped up, he was freaking out. He started to just, really get upset because he thought he made progress, but it all went downhill. And seeing his motivation, what he said at the beginning of the chapter, basically shows he's not the character he was in the overhaul arc. He is willing to fully accept being the user of One for All and to surpass All Might. He has accepted that role. He's willing to go for it. He's no longer going to doubt himself and thinking that someone like Togata deserves it more than him. He's willing to move on and be the #1 hero. So Izuku has his mind set straight to becoming very strong. That dialogue alone speaks volumes about Izuku's character. But in terms of Black Whip, though, I'm glad Horikoshi did what I expected. Even though, like I said, I expected it, I'm glad he did it. Because many, like I said, were upset that Izuku gaining a new quirk in and of itself is just like a big what. Like, people are freaking out because it could cause a power gap between the other characters. But, people were upset that Izuku might have mastered the quirk or be able to use it right off the bat. And I'm glad Horikoshi trolled us. Izuku cannot use Black Whip at this time. It's stated downright that if he tries to use it, it gives incredible pain to his body. Now, he can use it. Technically, Izuku can use it. But it's like saying Izuku can use One for All 100%, but in reality, if he was to do that, he would break his body. So, okay, yes, Izuku can use Black Whip, but if he does, the repercussions of it's just not good. It's not feasible, it's not something he should do. So, right at this time, Izuku cannot use Black Whip. He even states the strain of using it at 20%, it's too powerful, it's too strong, he cannot use it, and he needs to have a better mastery of One for All before he can even begin to utilize that quirk. So, I'm glad. I am very glad about this. In terms of storytelling perspective, it means that Izuku still is not ready to be able to be that powerful. He still has to work up his base level strength with One for All before he can even touch these super powered up quirks from the previous user. So, we can all breathe easy now. We can all breathe easy that Horikoshi didn't take the easy route, give Izuku an easy power up, and he's able to use all, these quirks all at once. Like that. Now, one day, he will be able to use them all together at once, but for the time being, he cannot, which, like I said, is a good thing. So, that I'm happy about. I'm happy with how clean Horikoshi settled that issue. It was so clean, and I don't think anyone should really have an issue with this chapter. If you have an issue, I really don't know what to say. Like, I have no idea what to say to you if you have an issue with this chapter in terms of what happened with Black Whip. Now, let's talk about Class A winning. I highly doubt the finale of this chapter is a fake out. Like, for instance, Class B is going to come around and start winning. I personally don't think it's a fake out. I actually think Class A has won this because when we think about what this match has been about, it's been about Izuku and Ochako and Shinzo and Monoma. Like, holy crap, Monoma, which I already got into, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But Ochako had a big spotlight, which I want to talk about her in another segment in this video, but, when we think about what this arc has kind of done, or this part of the arc, it's done its job, right? And I think settling this match like this is okay, because we can move into the next big parts. We can move into Izuku talking with All Might about what's going on with One for All. Aizawa's probably going to want to know. And Bakugo's going to want to know. People are probably going to just want an explanation from Izuku in the first place. And also, we'll find out what happens to Shinzo, which class he will join. And then also Monoma with his big, what-if type scenario with his quirk. And so I feel like ending the arc like this right now, or ending this fight with Class B and Class A like this, I think it's okay. I'm fine with it. I mean, it's unexpected. Like I said, I expected Izuku to lose and Shinzo to win, but it didn't happen. But you know what? I'm fine with it. Which, let's get into how they won. So yes, Izuku was a big, important part of this. I mean, he technically was the one that got rid of the major player in the fight, which was Shinzo. He was the one that had too much crowd control and could control the entire fight without really even lifting a finger. So Izuku had to deal with the man. And if it wasn't for Ochako, I don't think this would have been as successful as it was. Yes, Beneta and, our girl Alien Queen Mina was doing a good job with fighting the others of Class B. They were doing a fantastic job. Like, I'm not going to down them on that. But Ochako was truly the MVP. I think many need to take a hard look at who truly was doing all the work in this match. It wasn't Izuku. I mean, he was doing a good job, but it really, at the end of the day, I think it was Ochako that was really carrying the team. Because she helped out Izuku when he was having a mental breakdown, basically, and helped him when his quirk was just going overload. Also, beyond that, she was the one that got rid of the major players in this fight with Class B, in this chapter. She got rid of 3 people. I mean, she got rid of Monoma, which is a big threat. She got rid of 2 others that are not really good in close range, and she managed to sneak up on them and disarm them and completely get them down to where they couldn't fight back, to set up where, you know, Mina could counterattack and take down the other that was remaining. So Ochiko's the MVP. I think, in the grand scheme of things, looking at this match, Ochiko's the reason why they won. It was Ochako. She is the reason. And I like the spotlight Ochako got. It fits in with her character, because when we think about it, Ochako has learned martial arts from Gunhead. That's been established for a while now, and her being able to kind of do what she did in this chapter also makes sense, because she is very intelligent. Like, remember the whole match with her and Bakugo? That whole point of that match was to show she wasn't stupid. She was able to come up with her own plan without Izuku saying anything to be able to stand up against Bakugo. Yes, Bakugo was able to win in the end, but Ochako proved that she was intelligent. So, seeing her come up with plans, doing how she did, like, you know, winning and, you know, beating the opponent, Class B, I think fits in with her character, and I appreciate the spotlight she got. Thank you so much, Horikoshi, for that, because I love Ochako, and she hasn't really had a spotlight for a very long time, and I'm glad to see she finally got one. So, what else is there really left to get into? Let's see here. We got into Monoma, we got into stuff with, Izuku, Ochako. I pretty much think I have covered everything, at least what's important. If there's anything else I missed, please forgive me, but it's a good chapter. I can't wait for the next chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, you know, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And I love you guys. Please be safe. Chibi out.